Maybe no surprise, since a quarter of the estimated 6 million Muslims in the United States are converts.
Assalamu alaikum. Can I be heard? Can I be heard? No, I didn't know that I didn't know that he was gonna come on the Pal Talk today. I'm a little embarrassed. It wasn't. I didn't do it. I didn't do it for me. I was sitting in one of my classes and I was reading the Quran, and I began to think, because I'm only just a Muslim 2 days ago. I'm only just a Muslim 2 days ago, and I thought to myself, there's nothing wrong with taking it slow, right? There's nothing wrong with taking my time and working up to 5 prayers a day, and there's nothing wrong with that. But then I was reading in the Quran and I got to thinking, I said, I've stood beside mountains before, and if the mountains fell, they would crush me. And I've stood beside trees before, and if the trees fell, they would smash me. And I've stood under the night sky, and if the stars stopped shining, I would be blinded. And I woken up and I breathe air, and the sun shines on me to warm me, and the breeze blows. And I said, all these things happen because of Allah. And were it not for that, were it not for those thoughts, I would not have decided to do my shalat this afternoon. And I went behind one of the buildings, out of the way of everyone, and I silently, began my prayer, my worship to Allah, the only one who is worthy of worship. And what happened was, some of the students saw and were slightly offended, I guess, and the security guards came over and tried to interrupt me during my prayer, and I said nothing. I finished my prayer. I ignored them, and when I was finished, then I responded to them and I said, you're gonna have to explain to me why, because last I checked, I have the right to do this, and even if I didn't have the right to do this, I'm gonna do it anyway, and I would just not do it here. And they said, well, you're gonna have to go talk to the vice president of the college, because you can't do that here. You're putting yourself in danger. Some of the other students are offended by it, and I could see on their faces that they were, offended, I guess would be the matter. And I said, if I have to go talk to the vice president, that's fine. And so I went. Camp Lejeune is a Marine Corps base, and that's where I'm at. And so there are Marines who have been to Afghanistan and Iraq, so they have a hatred, I guess, a bias. And so I went to talk to the vice president, and he said, why were you doing that? And I said, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I worship the most powerful, the only one that creates, the only one that wasn't created? Why would I not? How can you not? doesn't it intimidate you to know that I mean, you wake up and you sleep under a blanket of existence that's a gift to you, and I looked on his shelf and he had the King James Bible, and I said, if I told you tomorrow you could no longer worship God through Christ, what would you say? And he didn't answer, and I said, you're going to have to explain to me, you're going to have to tell me why, you're going to have to explain to me why my First Amendment rights and my Second Amendment rights don't apply because I'm a Muslim. I said, and even if my First Amendment rights and my Second Amendment rights didn't apply, you're going to have to tell me why I can't worship my God and your God and the creator of everything. You need to explain that to me. And he said, I'm not saying that you can't, and I'm not saying that we'll stop you, but to make sure you're safe, and because you came in here respectfully, and because it was new to him as well, he said, we're going to let you do your salat twice a day here on the campus, and we're going to provide you with a room so that you can have privacy, and you just tell us what you need. You just tell us how this campus can help you. And when I walked out of the room, the only thing I noticed was that the secretary for the vice president was staring at me, and on her desk was a King James Bible, and I knew that the Christians were the ones that were offended. I knew that the military were the ones that were offended. I knew they were angry. But all praise be to Allah, Allah still protected me. Allah still kept me safe. Allah still provided for me a place to worship Him. And even if He didn't provide me a structure to worship Him, Allah provided me with the earth that I can kneel on. Allah provided me with the grass that when I prostrate myself before Him, I'm not cutting myself on rocks. Allah provided me with a warm sun to keep me from freezing as I prostrate myself in worship. Allah provided me with a cool breeze to protect me from the heat, that I may worship Him. Allah provided me with the strength in my body that I may humble myself to Him. And the college, the vice president of that college said, we're going to give you a room. We're going to give you a space for your worship. I still say I did not do anything. I did not do anything. Allah provided. Allah gave to me. Allah graced me. It was Allah. It was not me. It was Allah. And I thank you for listening. And I thank you for letting me tell this story that Allah has graced me with. Allah Akbar.
نصرة الإسلام لبينا النداء في سبيل الله نحيا